Hey everybody, so today's video is going to be a review of episode 4 called Beauty of Once Upon a Time Season 7. I'm sorry about the light. I know it's really bright. And no, okay, that's not gonna work. So this episode was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. I think it's the best one of this season so far. I thought they used Belle in a good amount of time. Like, I felt like she had, I think, a good amount of screen time, for it being Emily DeRavin's. Is it DeRavin or DeRaven? I've heard it pronounced both ways, so I'm gonna go with DeRaven. I think that's the one I've heard the most. Considering it's her last episode playing Belle, I'm gonna assume ever now because of what happened. So I think it was a good amount of time for her character to be in the episode, and what I also liked about this episode was the Cinderella characters, like Cinderella, Lady Tremaine, and Ivy. Although Ivy had a bit more going on this episode than the other two, but they still had less. This episode definitely focused on Rumpelstiltskin, Belle, and Alice, or Tilly, which was really nice. Regina was like in one scene and that was it. So she literally had nothing to do in this episode. So I'm wondering when she's gonna actually get to do more, because I've heard that she's supposed to do more this season. I'm curious to see what that's gonna be like. Hook also didn't have that much to do either. I think he was in one scene too? Or two maybe? Maybe one or two scenes. So out of our three returning, this was definitely just about Rumple, which is great because Robert Carlyle knocked it out of the park with his acting. I thought it was so good. And I've been waiting for his character, to get to do more. Because I was like, when is Robert Carlyle gonna be used? They need to use him because I heard is his last season, I believe. I think he only signed on to do one more season of Once, and then after season 7, if they do a season 8, he's not coming back, as far as I know. So I really hope, since this is his last season, they really use Robert Carlyle as much as they can. Obviously, we want focus on all the other characters as well, but I'm hoping that, since it is his last, we might get a bit more for him to do, at least story-wise. Trying to move this. Alright, well, I'm sorry about the light. It's really bright. Let's kind of go into, I want to talk about Tilly first, and the Weaver relationship, and then I'll go back and I'll end on Belle. I really love their relationship. I think Alice/Tilly is a really intriguing character. I think she's the best new character, to be honest, out of the ones that we've seen so far. The witch in the end of the last episode is interesting, but not as interesting to me as Alice is. I've never watched the Once in Wonderland, so I don't know how that Alice was, because it's not on Netflix. You have to buy it on iTunes, and that's the only way you can watch it. So I'm gonna have to try and maybe buy an episode or something and check it out. But I really like this Alice. I think she's great, and in her curse form, Tilly has to take drugs and these drugs keep her from remembering who she really is. That's really interesting, is that, before, they were already cursed, there wasn't any way to break it. So I'm wondering how, no, there was a way to break. When they were cursed before, the the only way for their old memories to come back was if Emma broke the curse. I know that with Graham, she kissed him, and that's how it broke. So I don't. Was that just because she's the savior and she's meant to break the? That's interesting, right there. Why Graham remembered when she kissed him. I don't know about that. But that's season 1. But I thought that was cool. I thought Rose Reynolds was great in the episode. I do think she's a really great choice for Alice. I really liked her, and I really liked the chemistry and the dynamic between her and Rumple. And I don't mean like chemistry as in like a romantic type of chemistry. I just think they work really well together as, these two people that work together. She's his informant, and he's the corrupt cop. So I think they work great in that relationship. And I'm curious to see what the relationship between Rumple and Alice becomes, because we get to meet, or we get to see the first meeting of the two characters. I'm hoping we'll learn a little bit more about that later on. And then apparently Tilly so she is the LGBT character, so she's the new, and I remember her. I guess there was a line she said she had a girlfriend at one point. And that's how they revealed it. I guess I wasn't paying attention during that scene or something, because I was eating my dinner while I was watching the episode. I'm not gonna lie. Not because it was boring or something, but because I had been waiting to eat my food and it was finally ready by then. So, but I guess I just didn't notice that line. But I kind of suspected it would be her. Alice is a character that I think is often, when people do retellings of fairy tales, Alice is the one that's often turned into a gay character. I think there's one, Clamp. If you guys know who Clamp, they're a manga group, not a manga artist group. And they did like Cardcaptor Sakura and Magic Knight Rare, Chobits. Those are some of their big ones. And they did a Alice in Wonderland where that was the case. I forgot what it was called. It wasn't called Alice in Wonderland. It was called something else, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But they did a version of Alice like that. I haven't read it. I've only read the 3 that I mentioned for their works. So I kind of figured it would be Alice. She's, I think, a character that I guess is the easiest to, or is often made gay, I've noticed. I have seen a Cinderella, there's a book where Cinderella, a retelling of Cinderella, where she's gay. I haven't read that either. It's just because my library doesn't have it, and I've looked up bookstores and they don't have it either, so it's more of a I can't find it type of thing here, and so I have to order it online. I just haven't gotten around to it. I would like to read them. I think it'd be really interesting to see this retelling. But I kind of figured it'd be Alice. I am wondering who her love interest will be. I don't know if it's gonna be Ivy or not. Maybe it'll be the witch. Could be the witch. Could be Ivy. It could be any. Any of the new characters coming up. Maybe it's Tiana even. That'd be interesting. I don't know. They'll tell us when we get there, right? We'll find out, right? Down the line. But I kind of figured it'd be her. But I think it's great. I hope it's more than just one episode like they did with Ruby and Dorothy. And I hope it is this like multiple episode story arc for that, because it is important today to show LGBT characters on screen. So I'm gonna wait. We'll see. I think they said it was a multiple episode story arc during Comic-Con, I believe. So hopefully it is. But I don't know right now because of the way the ratings are going. If that might change, because maybe ABC will be like, well, we gave you 22 episodes, we might cut them back. I don't know what's gonna go on there. Hopefully, they can at least do the full season, so they can at least tell that story and wrap up this with the curse. Hopefully, we'll see. I thought the Tilly stuff was great. So I'm really excited for her character going forward. I can't wait to learn even more. And of course, at the very end, you saw Hook, or Rogers, as he's known in Hyperion Heights, go up and start playing chess. So my assumption that Rapunzel was his daughter is now changing into, I think it might be Alice somehow, which is kind of weird because Rose Reynolds kind of looks like she could be the daughter of Emma and Hook, to be honest. So unless she is somehow in a timey-wimey, some Holy Doctor Who way, Emma's daughter too, because he did mention Hook mentioned to Killian. That's how I'm gonna keep the two characters separate, by the way. Is Hook is the one from the Wish Realm, and Killian is our Captain Hook that we've seen for the past 5 seasons. That's living with Emma in Storybrooke and raising the baby. So that's how I'm gonna keep them separate. So Hook told Killian that their lives were the same up until the casting of the curse. So that means that Emma had met Hook, back when her parents first met and they fell in love because of the time travel episode. So maybe that's how she is still Alice's mother, slash maybe Rapunzel's mother. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how they figure this out. It could be. I'm kind of semi curious about that. If if she is his daughter, but that's kind of like our first clue that maybe they're father daughter because they were playing chess and that's what they used to do together. So we shall see. And then I just noticed my time really quick. Henry and Ivy seemed to have just a little bit more to do this episode than she normally does. I actually thought her and Henry had great chemistry. I don't know if they're gonna do a new love triangle. I kind of hope not. Love triangles, I'm over them. I'm done with them. Can we not have any more for a while, please? It's just like they seem to get done so often that I just don't want another one. That's my big hope. I'm just hoping that maybe they're just gonna be friends and that they're gonna help each other, by being friends. She's gonna help him, with Jacinda, and he helps her with her mother, type of thing. But we shall see. But I did think they had good chemistry, so we'll see what happens there. But I enjoyed her and Henry's scenes together. I thought they were really good. And then finally, we're going to talk about Belle. I thought that storyline was really beautiful. I wish this was what Rumpel was like the whole time instead of, him lying about having, or switching the daggers and, lying about being the Dark One. And, what else has he done? Oh my goodness. Oh, trapped her on Hook's ship, put that bracelet on her to find her. So many things that have happened between those two that I wish this was what it was like for them the whole time. Really nice moments. But I'm glad they at least had it for their final episode because this will be the final Rumple Belle episode as well as Belle's final episode. I thought it was very sweet. I thought it was a nice little and that was a nice Up montage that they did. The music sounded very similar to Up. The situation was very similar, although other then, they had Gideon. So unlike Carl and Ellie, who didn't, that movie makes me cry all the time. Sorry, it's so sad. And I did tear up a little bit for Rumble Bell, because they did do the up thing, and it's just so sad. Like, I mean, if you don't cry during that first like 15 minutes of Up, you probably have no heart, to be honest, because it is one of the saddest scenes in a movie I think ever put on screen. And I thought that's such a beautiful love story right there, that I really liked that they wanted to pay homage to it with Rumble Bell. It worked. It really did work. I do think it was really sad though that Belle had to leave Storybrooke, and because she made friends there, and I thought that part was sad though, that she couldn't stay in contact with their friends. And do they even know in Storybrooke that she died? Because Gideon knows. Do like Emma and Hook and Regina and Henry? Does Henry know that his step grandma died? Oh my goodness, that's sad. I do think it was sad when Belle died, because normally she's a Disney princess. You don't they don't die. They just don't die. I mean, Snow White will be 1,000 years old, to be honest. And they'll never kill her off. So, and the fact that they killed her, I mean, I know she died of old age, but the fact that they still had that in the story was really shocking. But also, it was a very bittersweet moment too. And I'm just glad that Belle had a very long and happy life, it looks like. And obviously one filled with love from her son Gideon and from Rumple. I think it was a happy ending to me, and I thought it was very beautiful and very sweet, very touching. And it made me really like Rumple Bell, to be honest, a lot more than what they've done before. I thought this episode was really beautiful. And let's see, what else can I say? I thought the makeup was pretty good. The old age makeup for Emily, she looked pretty good in that, considering I guess the budget has been cut for costumes and makeup. So, but it looked nice, so that's good. I'm glad that had a good she looked old, like she was like 80 or 90 or something like that, so that was cool. The thing with the Guardian is a bit confusing, because I'm not sure what that means. I know we covered a lot of the Dark One mythology during season 5. So I'm wondering, are they trying to retcon it, or are they trying to just say, oh, well, that was there the whole time, Merlin maybe didn't mention it? I don't know. It is a bit confusing, but overall, I thought this episode was great. Best one so far. I hope it continues to be this good or better for the rest of the season. I kind of wish, I'm not gonna lie, Emma's my favorite character. I would have loved for her to have as much screen time that, Emily had gotten. They said it was a scheduling thing, but I kind of maybe couldn't they have figured out a way to have added more? I feel like they could have, instead of focusing on, the other Hook and Henry, and some of those scenes maybe had utilized that time for Emma, because I feel like her story should have been written differently. I mean, keep the way her story ended, the happy ending, absolutely. That's what I want for her. But maybe had done something a little different, seeing what they did for Belle. I think that would have been great to have seen for Emma too. Just not. I didn't want Belle to die though. I'm not gonna lie. That was so sad. But I loved the Up thing too. And now I'm just gonna, when I watch Beauty and the Beast, I'm like, they killed Belle in Once Upon a Time. They gave her this Up thing, and she was Ellie. I'm just gonna think that the whole time. But yeah, I thought the episode was great. I really do, and I loved it. It was a beautiful send-off for Belle and for the Rumple Bell relationship. So that's my thoughts on the video. I didn't mean for it to be this long, but I guess I had a lot to say. I'll see you next week. I'm gonna have to try and upload the review on Friday, because I'm gonna go to the Highland Games in Tucson Comic Con.